Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Your wisdom sharing how you became a vegetarian and how, you didn't have to take any medicine at all. So, from what you have said, um, it just came into my mind when I sat in the meditation. Uh, with anybody who has a biology background, body has so many different systems like cardiovascular system, endocrine system, excretory, and all these. So it is functioning, it is designed to function very well. Um, all we have to do is put some good nutrients and some water and all that. So what it came in my mind during the meditation is I am like a blender, example, as a machine. I'm a blender, and it's running nicely with whatever we put. So if we put positive thoughts in there, like water or something, it runs smoothly. Nothing happens. Nice. And so I was saying, nice body. I was experiencing myself, everything. Wonderful. You are doing a good job. Beautiful. So if I put negative thoughts, they're like rocks into the body, and it damages the system, like the blades and all those. They were one by one, they go bad.
Mhm.
The
Right.
rocks in the blender.
Yeah. That's a good
And
analogy. Yeah, the bad thoughts are like rocks in a blender. They'll destroy your blender.
yeah, it destroy, and eventually it stops.
Yeah.
So I was
So,
experiencing all that. Then I just connected to the universe, the cosmos, and I was feeling that cosmic energy coming to me, and it was a blissful feeling. And thank you so much, sir.
oh, great. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you had a great blissful feeling. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Um, and the body is so connected to the mind, the mind-body connection is strong. And that's why the health of the body is very dependent on the mind, you see. Um, what thoughts we think, do manifest on the physical level, and they tend to manifest through the body. And so, if our thoughts are out of alignment with who we are, then we manifest the disease state, which we don't want, which is why I say it's not normal. It's not normal to be sick because what's normal is to have what you want to have. And so if you're sick and most people don't want to be sick, then it's not normal. And yeah, you can go to the doctor and get treated on a physical level, and that can help. But a lot of times it doesn't it doesn't permanently cure the situation with some things that are chronic, Some chronic things don't get cured, but they get treated. And the way to cure any chronic problem is to address it through the mind. The mind is very, very powerful, and the body is at the effect of the mind. Okay. So what we hold in mind is what we're subject to, and you can always change it. So this is the power that you have. You can always change it. You can always say, I don't like being subjected to these negative thoughts anymore. These negative thoughts are making me feel bad. And the reason I'm sick is because I'm having these negative thoughts. And so then you choose in the meditation, of course, it helps you to choose. It helps you to reset yourself so that you're more able to make a clear choice and say, I don't want the negativity anymore, but I'll take thoughts that are positive, that lead me into a state of joy and peace. And then naturally, from that, the good health has to manifest in your body. Okay. And so you'll see that if you're choosing thoughts that lead to joy and peace and that bring love to your heart, then naturally the good health has to follow. And you can try it for yourself and do the experiment for yourself and see if it works for you. And I'll say it will work for you. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Um, I see some wonderful comments here. Like, thank you, James. Wonderful meditation. Thank you. Um, and if anyone has any more questions, I see. Um, okay. Yeah, if anyone has any comments or talk, just please unmute yourself and speak.
Hi, James. My name is Sri Lanta.
Hello.
Uh, yeah, hi. So it's a wonderful experience sharing, sir. It was so wonderful. Uh, what I clearly wanted to understand was like, when you said you just happened to just go for a retreat, for an 8-day retreat, and then you were able to transform, right? What was it? What was your experience exactly? Like, what did you do? And, like, what day? Uh, I mean, like, you just felt transformation suddenly, or like, how did that happen? I just wanted to know more about that.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great question. I tended not to say much about it. Um, but I'll say this. I was motivated for several years before the retreat to find out where is the truth? What is the truth of this universe? And kind of
Mm-hmm.
like I put it in the context of a search for God, right? Um, I want to know who is God? What is the nature of God? What is the nature of reality? I don't want to be stuck always going down a dead end, you know. Um, and so I was very motivated before the retreat for years in a search. And I finally settled on doing this retreat because I believed that the person leading it was a truly enlightened being and that this person can help people who want that kind of help.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was my state going into it, which is a very good state to be in. And because I was in a very receptive state, I was open to receiving. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the keys is you've got to be open to receiving. If you're not open to receiving, it won't come to you. Okay. Um, so I was very open, and that helped me a lot. Not only being with the master, but being open and willing to receive. Um, and so those were the key ingredients that helped me. And then the question is, well, what was my experience like? Um, I can try to tell you what it was like.
Mm-hmm.
We had wonderful time together. Just the camaraderie of the people around me who were also looking really for the same thing I was looking for, and the master who was very much connected and could bring down this, like you call it, the grace of the guru or expedite the life force energy for people. Um, I would say that the experience was like a knowingness of a flow of energy through my being, and especially in the heart region, which I'll just call the heart chakra because it felt more like energy. Just in the heart region, it became very, very warm and stayed that way for a long time, and
Mm-hmm.
it's still that way, but I don't notice it as much anymore. Um, it's there, but I don't always necessarily realize it's there. So a very nice, pleasant, warm feeling just suddenly appeared in the heart chakra area. And I interpret this as a flow of energy. And I'll just call it the life force energy flowing. A
Mm-hmm.
very, a very good awareness of the flow of life force energy. And it turns out that I wasn't resisting it anymore. Okay, that's one of the things that the workshop did for me, or the retreat. It helped me to not resist this flow of life force energy. I had been resisting it with my
Mm-hmm.
judgments, okay, with the judgments that I was putting on people around me and also on myself, okay. We need to put down this thing that we call judgment, because ultimately, one thing to know is that there isn't any truly, there's no right or wrong. There's truly no good nor evil. But what you think in your mind makes it good or bad or right or wrong because you believe it to be so. And then
True.
when you make a judgment like that, you can resist the flow of this life force energy. And when you're resisting it, your will is very powerful, and you can actually slow it down to the point that you become sick. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so meditation and being with people who have a strong flow of life force energy, and just meditating can help you to put down things like judgment, which actually work against you. I think some people don't know that when you judge yourself, especially negatively, right? But even positive judgments aren't great because a
Mm-hmm.
positive judgment implies that there could be a negative judgment. I think it's best to put down all judgment and be accepting of everyone and everything, and realizing that everyone has their own free will that they can exercise, and really it's best not to interfere with that at all. It's fine to have relationships with people and to talk with people and to work with people and to create the world we want to create with others. But when we start using judgment, it comes back to hit us badly. That's the way I see it. And so, naturally the good health flowed. I naturally started to not eat meat anymore. I just realized I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I had been eating meat before, and then afterward, I would try to eat some meat, and I realized, oh, this doesn't work for me anymore. So I just put it down. The same with the alcohol. I had been drinking wine before. And
Mm-hmm.
after, I couldn't drink the wine anymore. I would take a sip out of a cup, and it would immediately just have a reaction like, oh, what is this? I don't need that, and put it down. Kind of like a knowingness that wasn't flowing through my brain, but just as soon as soon as the alcohol or the meat got anywhere near my body, I would just have an aversion to it and just put it down without even thinking about it. And so that's how that stopped. So it all happened not on a thinking level, you see. I didn't think that I should choose to not drink alcohol or eat meat, or I didn't think that anything about my health at all. It just all happened as a consequence of stopping resisting this flow of life force energy. Or another way to think about it is stop resisting what is. What is what is, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what's real. And if we stop resisting it and we start accepting it, then everything flows nicely, and we get into a flow state where, you can just be very joyful and blissful and interacting well with others. And people who don't interact well with you, will eventually drift away from you and you won't really see them anymore. And I've noticed that too, is some people have drifted away from me just kind of naturally. And I don't resist that either. I just let it go. I
Mhm.
just say, okay, well, if we're drifting away, then that's what is, and I'll accept it. So that's been my experience over the past 4 years.
Wonderful experience. Wonderful. It's a lot of takeaways from that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
There is one question in the chat, James, like how to open to receive love. Like how can we recognize that we are receiving?
Ah, yes. Okay. So there needs to be a willingness to say, I don't know, and I understand that I don't know. There are things that I don't know. Okay. This is one way that you can kind of open yourself to being receptive, to being to receiving grace, receiving life force energy, um, is to be able to say, I understand that there are things that I don't know. And because I know that I don't know these things, I'm going to keep an open mind to new ideas. I'm going to question, why do I do the things that I do? Okay, I'm doing things now because I learned to do things. People have told me that there's right things to do and wrong things to do. My parents, my friends, my teachers. I've picked up things through advertising. And so there's lots and lots of different sources of here's what you should do, here's what you shouldn't do. But ultimately, did you really have a choice when you decided what it was that was going to guide your behavior? Or did you do it blindly because you were essentially programmed to do it? Okay. And so you want to kind of step back from it all and start to ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Where did I get this idea from? If it's an idea that I've been using, has it been serving me well? And question it. Just question everything. And you realize there's a lot that you don't know, and you're not even sure that a lot of the ideas that you have are right for you once you start questioning them. And it kind of opens you up to being ready to receive a newness, something from the unknown. You're just going to be much more likely to say, I want to experience something new. I want to experience something different. I want to experience something that I don't know. Um, so that's one way to do it, is just to question everything that you think you know and realize there's a whole lot more that you don't know. And if you can be open to it, by questioning your ideas. There's nothing wrong with questioning your ideas. You might question an idea and say, you know, I looked at that pretty carefully and I'm happy with it. And you might keep it. Or you might look at something that you've had for a long time and say, oh, why am I doing that? That doesn't make any sense. And you might throw it away. So I'm just saying, to be uh, to be more aware of, why do you do the things you do? And where'd you get the idea from? And if you're not sure, then you should question it, because a lot of times, there's agendas. There's an agenda out there, right, for programming people, because if you think about it, advertising is the big programmer. If you've got your if you're on the internet or you're watching television, you're gonna be subjecting your mind to lots of advertising, and the advertisers are trying to put some ideas in your mind so that you'll do certain things that benefit them. But if you do that unquestioningly, then you're kind of like getting yourself programmed. And so I would say unprogramming yourself is part of opening up to being receptive to newness and to something, being willing, it's all in your will, okay? Nothing happens to you that's not your will, okay? So if you can say, my will is that I want to be open and receptive to good things that are coming from the unknown, and I want to know who I truly am and what I truly am, and I want to be connected to the source of the universe, then all of this will come to you because you want it and you're ready for it, you see. Um, so I think just being willing to do that is the main thing.
Yeah, that was wonderful sharing, James. The willingness. Thank you so much. Um,
I have a question. This is Sonia.
Hello.
Hello, James. Thank you so much. This was a very beautiful session and love the questions. And maybe you answered this question already, but when you're in meditation and you're cleansing your thoughts and deciding which one needs to stay with you, which one needs to be moved, and trying to do that through the day also. But people also, your people around you, your environment also interjects and injects thoughts and ideas and all that stuff in there. So how do you keep the harmony with the people, yet
Right.
keep yourself in a cocoon?
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. You definitely can be influenced by people. And sometimes people bring some negativity with them. And it can be challenging, right? To not get influenced by it. Um, one thing that I noticed that I've been doing, and you kind of got to be careful with this. I laugh. I just laugh a lot. And laughter helps so much. So if somebody says something negative and you can see, you pretty much know right away that, you know, I don't know, they've got an agenda, they're trying to control you, they're trying to make you do something you don't want to do. And so they'll say something negative. Now, my sort of natural reaction to that is I'll laugh. I will just start laughing. Now, I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad, but I will say that the other person will have a reaction to your laughter. They'll either walk away and leave you alone, or they'll become angry and start attacking you more. And so I've seen both of those. Or I've just seen people say, "Well, you're crazy. Why are you laughing?" And it doesn't really matter because the fact that you tend to laugh when somebody is negative, uh, it shields you from the negative energy that's coming from them. And I think the laughter is a way to have that negative energy not absorbed by you. It may just go somewhere else. It may go back to the person who sent it. And so I tend to do that. The only problem is sometimes the person gets angry and then they want to fight. And then you have to realize that you need to take yourself out of that situation because you don't want to fight with somebody. It's sometimes you just have to walk away from a situation, and it may be hard to do. It may, you may, it may be something you don't want to do, but you might have to. Um, and there's really not too many choices, honestly. You can walk away, you can laugh. I don't recommend getting into an argument with anyone because it'll just drain your energy and nothing useful will come from it. So it's better either to walk away or to laugh or to do both and let it go. Always let these things go. Don't keep them, don't hold on to them. Let it pass through you if you can. That's a way of letting it go. Don't absorb the negative energy if at all possible. If you do absorb it and you're feeling bad, try to meditate when you can and reset yourself and let it go that way. So that's my advice there.
Yeah, thank you so much. That yes, that is. I read somewhere that just surprise them with a smile or a laugh. And
Yeah.
I remembered that as you were answering. I said, yes, I remember reading that. So yes, thank you for reiterating that. And yes, there's so much negativity through social media and people and all that stuff. And sometimes it can just draw you in, and you just have to remember to break away and ask yourself, is this going to be good for me in the long run?
Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.